All right, force repetitions are the reps that you have to struggle for. Without those, you're wasting your time.
I don't want to be bulky. Can I increase my lean muscle mass without getting big?
What's the difference though? Why is that, you think?
Well, one, because I guess it would have to
but right here, I like what I'm
should track your progress and not simply try to eyeball your gains. Okay, you need something
you can't
more
go anymore. And then when I'm with you, like my numbers are always higher because you know how to push
come
me.
along and help out. So to keep the synergies strong, your pull up, push ups, and dips is going to do that.
Who's hungry? Super Set King!
Yo, what up, man? Y'all know who it is and what it do, baby. It's the coldest host in the city that give you chills when he do what he do. Mr. J. Rose in the building, man, and y'all already know, man, behind the apron with the best trainer in the land, all across the globe, man. The beast mode chef right here, man. Y'all already know how it go. So y'all know, if you don't know, first time tuning in, man, what we do, we come in, we get in depth on things that you don't know, that you need to know when you train it in the gym. So like today, we're gonna talk about the importance of carbs. How many do you need, or how many do you need to take away in order to get the look that you want to get? Do you want to walk around like our visitor on the end down there with only 3% body fat? Or you know what I'm saying, you want to walk around and just eat bread and sugars and everything else? It's up to you on how you want to look, man. But today we're gonna get real in depth on what it is and what it takes to get the look that you want to get to. So to my right, your left, Miss Stephanie. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Steph.
All right. Then right here in the middle to my right again, still your left, we got Miss Crystal.
Hello.
And then y'all know on the far left, y'all done seen them in plenty of videos, all the competition videos all over the web. Y'all already know I call it champ, but y'all know as Lee. What's up, Lee?
What's going on?
All right, man. So, hey, and then how can I forget? None other. I already did it once, but I got to do it again because it's the house he built. The legend, the beast, the beast mode chef. What up, bro?
What up?
Already. So, man, welcome. We're about to dive right into this thing, man. We about to get in depth on these carbs. So I'm gonna let Smoke go ahead and take it away, man. Talk a little bit about the carbs. Like I said, we're gonna talk about carbs, the intake, the takeaway, and everything that you need to know. All right, here we go. Let's go.
Right. So your carbohydrates, everyone know what a carb is, correct?
Yep.
All right, your carbohydrates, 1 gram of carbohydrate is 4 calories. That's something you need to know. All right, 1 gram is 4 calories. Your carbohydrates are different percentages depending on what your goal is. Whether your goal is fat loss, your goal is bodybuilding, or to maintain, your carbohydrates should be a certain percent. You need to know what that is. All right. Most of the time, people want to eat low carb because that's what they hear. But if your goal is to put on muscle and to build size, low carb is not going to be the answer. You need to know the ratio to that. We'll get into that a little bit later. We have our guests on the show today so they can share their experience. And hopefully you can identify with one of our guests today. And if you cannot, you can go to the repetitiondiner.com. You can propose your questions there, and the chef will answer those himself. All right. Where we at, Brother Jake?
All right. So the first question is, man, what are carbs? Let's get right into it. What are carbs?
All right. Carbohydrate is a macronutrient. Okay. Macronutrients. The food that you consume is comprised of fat, carbs, and protein, and those are macronutrients.
So go ahead. What you about to say?
All right. So what we will do, we're gonna get into Steffi first.
Yeah. So let's do this. All right. So Steph, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Good.
So let us know what, like, exactly when you started training, what made you start, and how it has changed your life since you've been doing it. So just give us your story on coming in and meeting the Beast Mode chef.
Like your carbs, like your story, and where were your carbs when you started?
Okay, let's start with I started a year ago.
Anniversary 1 year?
That's our 1 year.
Whoa. All right.
I was eating whatever I wanted to eat. I had no exercise to go along with it. And now I've learned to manage it.
Learn to manage it.
Working out more, have more energy. I know to eat what I want to eat with moderation. But I stick with my diet because I still need to reach my goals.
Understand. When you let's start with a consultation. When you came in for that, were you nervous when we first met?
I wasn't so nervous only because I was ready based off seeing the results you had with other people. So I kind of knew what I was going in for, and I was at a place in life where I was ready.
You was ready. How long was that process from because a lot of times people want someone to do it on their terms, and the person has to be really ready. So how long was that process for you from the time you said, okay, I'm ready right now? What was that process?
For me, it didn't take long because I was ready to go cold turkey. And when I started, I stayed consistent for months. Like, it was only recently where life came into play where I was thrown off a little.
Right.
But when I started, I stuck to my diet and I was consistent with my exercise and my food.
Did you see results from our very first measurement in the consultation to our first check-in at 4 weeks? Did you see results right away? Yeah, you did. You did. How has your confidence changed since then? Hollywood now?
I'm not Hollywood.
Man, all of them turn Hollywood after that first.
I am more confident.
Okay.
I'm not the same person from a year ago for sure.
Let's before we move on, let's tell us what your meal looked like before you started, and what does one of your meals look like right now? What would your meal be before you started your program? Your meal will be what? Or how did you think you should eat then? Don't be
Before I started, I kind of just ate whatever I saw.
Fast food?
Fast food. I just didn't know how to eat, and I just loved food so much. It was just a toxic relationship that I was in love with.
Right.
And now I feel like I eat more, but eating more healthy, and so I'm still feeling filled. And now I know how much food takes. The food I eat now makes me feel different. I'm not sluggish.
That's a great
more
point.
energetic. When I eat bad now, I feel so guilty. So I get back on track.
Perfect.
So you got that snapback effect. You ate a little bad, and then you snap right back on track, right? Okay, and so you hear chef in your head all the time? All the time.
I notice how even when you go to the gym now, you correcting other people's form now. All right, Miss Crystal, can we move on, Brother Jay?
We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna keep it going.
All right.
We're gonna, since Miss Stephanie introduced herself, we're gonna ask the same question to Miss Crystal.
Okay, ask the question.
Okay, so basically, once you came into the gym, how has it changed your life, and what has, of course, you changed your eating, but what else have you been doing differently since you started training and been in the gym?
So working with Jay is not even so much the eating, that's a big portion of it, but he trains very differently in the sense of, even in the intro video, he wants you to go to that failure, whereas I don't want to go to failure because that's failure to me.
Right.
I want to lift what I can lift because that means I can do it. So if I go to failure, that's not, I look in my head, it's like, I'm not doing it right. So he takes you to failure so that you can see improvement, and that's how it goes across the board. Not necessarily failure with the eating, but you have to take your body. You have to do something different to get a different result. So with that, I am a person of, okay, just like he said, low carb. That's what you gotta have. I didn't want to eat nothing.
So you don't deviate from it at all.
Well, I didn't say that.
I didn't say that. Like, nah, I'm eating carbs.
I didn't say that, but he definitely had to teach me how to eat for the results that I wanted. And that's what he said in the beginning.
Okay.
And that's something very, very differently than, it's very strategic. You have to be very intentional with how how you're eating to get the results that you want. It's like I can't eat the same way he does. I can eat the same way she does if we don't have the same goals and the same body makeup.
Exactly.
So that's very helpful. And like I said, you have to be intentional with how you're eating. So that I have to always keep that in the back of my head. So I do have it depends on what I'm doing. I do have my carb, but I know that I can't have as much. I have to have a different type of carb. Try to have that sweet potato. Nasty sweet potato.
Now let's talk about you're a big fan of Starbucks. What's going on over there in your Starbucks mornings?
So
okay,
I have my Starbucks, but I'll just have like some egg bites, and I won't have my drink because the drink has a lot of sugar in it.
Okay.
Or I found a Starbucks alternate. So I'll have just instead of the chai tea latte with 2 pumps of vanilla and soy milk. Instead of having that, I'll get the sugar-free coffee, and I don't even like coffee, but I'll get sugar-free coffee, sugar-free creamer, and if I needed some stevia, and that's it. So there's really no sugar in it at all, and like maybe 2 carbs or something.
Okay.
So it makes a difference. So I get the boost that I need, the effect of it that I'm looking for, but it's not the downside, the sugar.
Now you've been in fitness for all your life, man.
Yeah,
long time.
I've always enjoyed working out.
I think over maybe the last 3 or 4 months, maybe 5 months, like you really took it to another level. What inspired that?
Well, so like last year, of course, during the pandemic, you kind of sitting around not doing as much, and then I was still working out though, even because I've always loved to work out, and then I'm like, well, what's different? I feel like I'm working so much, I'm not seeing the results I want, and then I might be a little older, not a lot. So I'm like, well, what is this different? It used to be so much easier to lose weight, and then that's when I realized, okay, that I have to eat clean consistently, like he says, and just change how I'm eating, like you said, eating for your body type.
How does the cardio tie into because you love cardio? How does that tie in?
So, well, I love high intensity workout, and that ends up being a lot of cardio. So I did burn off some of my muscles, so I do have to balance the amount of cardio with the amount of weight.
And carbs.
And carbs.
Correct.
Yes.
Right. So we were doing low carb, but your output was this high.
Right.
So it almost worked against you a little bit.
Yeah, I was afraid to eat. I didn't want it. I was scared to eat.
So do you have good knowledge now of how you should be eating?
I do. It's still a balance, and it's still something I have to work through. But I think I do have better tools to make the right decisions.
Got it. Where we at, Brother Jay?
All right, so now we're going over there to Lee. What up with you, champ?
What's going on?
Hey, so same question goes to you.
So it's a little funny because I've been working out over 15 years. I've been training with Smoke over 7. Nutrition is not new to me.
Okay.
However, in the last 7 years, I have not done anything different to change my physique with my nutrition. I had a habit of telling myself, I was strong in the gym, but my mind was weak. I will always say, the diet is something I could not master. So right then and there, I had to talk myself
out the game, right?
Even though I knew what to do. So, I turned 39. I said, you know what? I don't want to be strong and weak at the same time. So your mind is a muscle too. So I wanted to feel that. So I said, you know what? I can do this diet. It didn't happen overnight. I started in January. I gradually took stuff out, switched stuff around. The last 3 months, it's just been 100%. No cheat, no nothing. I don't like to use the word diet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I changed my lifestyle and I eat for a result. My food is the same, pretty much the same thing.
Say it again. Your food is what?
I eat it for a result.
No, you say your food is the same.
It's the same.
A lot of people have problems with eating the same thing.
Yeah, my food is the same. I don't have a problem with it. It just makes my life a lot easier because I know exactly what I get and when I'm supposed to get. Learning your body is most important. Learning what carbs work for you. Learning what carbs you eat that your body burns the quickest. Learning if you need to take it out at a certain time when to put it in. It's all about learning your body.
Right.
Take us through one of your days from start to finish.
So
the first meal.
I'm up usually my body wakes me up. I'm on the timer. Usually about 6 o'clock. I do oatmeal, regular oatmeal. Usually do like 7 egg whites, 1 whole egg, a half a tablespoon of peanut butter, and I do a half a cup of white rice, tilapia, or half a cup of white rice, ground turkey, or sweet potato. Have a shake. I do that about 4 times a day. Mind you, I'm a truck driver, so I bring 6 or 7 meals a day every day.
Yeah.
So, and then usually before bed, I do a casein drink the slow acting protein. So I won't wake up so hungry because my body is constantly burning. It's on a timer now. It's like it's burning.
So you have a shake before you go to bed, but you don't do whey at that time.
No, I do not do whey. I do casein because I want to slow it down. I want my protein to be slow so it can digest slower throughout the night.
Okay.
Whey protein is a faster protein. You get it after you work out. It's quick, get the muscle.
Fast absorbing.
I don't want that. I want slow. So either you're gonna do eggs, casein, some slow. So usually I do that before bed.
Now, most people that drive a truck have a hard time with nutrition. How do you manage to pull that off?
That's an excuse.
Uh-oh.
It's definitely mine. I'm telling you.
Oh, you're truck driver too, right?
Yeah.
I'm on there.
It's an excuse. I'm local, so I'm home every day. Like I said, I bake fish. I do ground turkey. I usually take about 20-25 minutes out of my day to prepare. I don't spend all day in the kitchen. I have a system, I eat twice before I go to work. I can use microwaves at work, eat at my stop. So it balances it out. I mean, you gotta want to do it to do it. You know what I mean? Like using the excuse that I'm on the road, it's just I pull over before and eat a meal. I eat it cold. You know what I mean? So it's just like I said, I'm eating for a result, not really for anything else.
Can I point out
Absolutely.
something that's been consistent with all three of us is the mindset.
Most
Like you
definitely.
said, it's an excuse. Once you choose to go a certain route, you stick with that. But if you don't think you can do it, Champ didn't think she could.
Yeah, you tell yourself you can't.
Her nutrition will ever be right. Once she said, "Okay, I'm going to do this," then it's done.
So with that mindset, can anyone help you do that, or that have to come within the person?
You can give somebody the blueprint, but they gotta have the will and the desire to want to follow it.
I can't want it for you. You have to be.
You
have
can
to
show
want
them.
it for yourself.
You can show them what to
tools.
do. Yeah, you give them the tools. But at the end of the day, it's their responsibility to go home and eat what they're supposed to eat. And everybody's not gonna be obsessive. I have an obsessive personality, so obviously, I can cheat, but I just choose to not to. You know what I mean? So.
Now it's funny how, because I've been kind of waiting on Champ to get her nutrition right. The Champ kind of shy, but like, Champ, let me see your stomach.
Yeah.
she never show it, but now selfie central. Selfie central.
What you say? You gonna be on there?
Yeah. Hey, Champ,
Posting.
can I switch the topic for 1 minute?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Champ, tell them how we first met. Champ, what was that like?
I was at Goes, and I seen Smoke in the gym training hard, all this training in the gym. I was like
working there training or just
working out. He was working out, so I was like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'd like to train with him one day. So I asked him. I made small talk. He invited me to do the first workout with shoulders, and then from that day I was hooked. You come in. You try to impress people like, I can keep up. It was a different ball game. It's totally different from what I was used to.
Yeah.
Totally different. But like I said, it's a mindset.
Right.
You can be strong in the gym and weak everywhere else. You know what I mean? So it's true. Like, I always told people what you do outside of the gym is the most important, which it is. But working out is easy to me.
Yeah.
Going home and eating right and sleeping right and everything else is the hardest part.
Yeah.
So you have always been pretty stronger than most.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? Well, your look really didn't come together until you did what?
My look came together when I switched my low glycemic carbs, found the carbs that works and don't put the fat on me. Took all my sugars out. Added my lean protein and took all the junk that I was eating out completely.
Like what? Because you like those
you
drinks,
know
like,
it.
tell people.
You always cover this, huh?
What changes?
Oh
did you make?
shoot! I was, like as a truck driver, you gain weight, like you have
You
freedom.
sit
You gain weight, so I was eating. In my mind, I was like, shoot, I work out. I should really eat this, eat that. You look around, and your stomach poking out, and all these other things. So I cut out. I was sugars cut out because I had to stay awake. I was drinking a lot of sugary stuff, you know. So I cut that out first, and I still was eating stuff like I would eat rice cakes, but I noticed I was getting addicted to it, eating like chips. I cut that out.
Yeah.
I was eating protein bars 3 at a time. I cut that out. Anything I felt like it wasn't, you know, helping me, like, you know, what my body didn't really need, I cut it out.
Perfect. Before we move on, we're gonna say the other variable for Champ. Can we move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, we're gonna let you want to talk about that. Or you gonna let Ms. Crystal talk?
Well,
about
hang on. I got a question for all three of them.
All
What made you get back in the gym, starting on the end with Steph? Like, what made you say I'm about to change my lifestyle?
I'm starting to feel insecure.
Okay.
So I wanted to change that.
Simple.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Crystal.
Sort of the same, but wanted a different. I said I've always worked out, but I wanted a different workout.
Okay.
I just wanted to push my body to a place that never I've been before and just see like how far that I can take this. You know, you always just want to see how good you can look. You know, like I don't want to be on the stage, but can I look stage ready? You know what I mean? Like, can I look a certain way when I'm
damn
doing
sure
this?
got that.
Yeah,
you
know, you just want to see how far can you take this thing? Because I've been training a long time, so you get kind of bored with seeing the same physique. So I wanted to just take it to another level.
Okay. All right. What would you want to go to? What's this? The ratios?
Yeah.
All
so
right,
we're gonna have to do. We're gonna let Ms. Crystal. They probably can't see this, but when you are in a exercise program, you have to decide what your goal is. It's gonna be one of what we got first here, Ms. Crystal.
So you have high carb bodybuilding,
All right, high carb for bodybuilding,
moderate carb for maintenance,
moderate carb for maintenance.
low carb for fat loss.
So you cannot be in more than one of these at the same time. All right, you're gonna have to choose which direction you're gonna go. All right, regardless of your training. Okay, your nutrition has to be in line with what the goal is. You cannot want to be in bodybuilding, but then also be in low carb. There's no way you're gonna put on size at that point because your glycogen storage is gonna be low. Carbs get stored in your muscle. You're gonna need a surplus of carbs to put on good size.
So that seems like too extreme, either
So-
bodybuilding or completely trying to lose fat. What about the person that's trying to tone but not gain it?
Okay, so toning, and when someone say, "Hey, I want to tone up," I ask them, "What does that mean?" Because I'm looking for more information, and they usually say, "I want to see definition."
Okay.
You cannot see definition unless your body fat is low. So then now you're in fat loss.
So can I lose weight and tone at the same time?
Absolutely.
So where does that lean here?
Okay. Now, when you say lose weight, the scale is not a factor at that point. We're going to measure your loss by body fat percentage.
Because you're
You follow
shrinking.
me? Also, so for instance, for a woman, if 21% body fat is excellent, when you get to 21%, we can take those carbs up and we can put on a little bit more muscle over here. You follow me? The carbs will be the same, just the portion sizes will be different.
Okay.
You follow me? So you're going to track your body fat and not track the scale. You follow me?
So when do you track the scale?
Never.
Yeah.
You can throw it in the trash, actually. You don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need it because Steffi, Crystal, and Champ can weigh the same thing. But depending on the body fat percentage, all three are going to look totally different. All right. So for a woman, excellent is 21%. For a man, 15% is excellent. Now, this is not getting on stage. It's just general health. All right. A man is going to see his abs at around 15%. So if guys come to me and say, "I want to be shredded," and you had 30% body fat, there's no. Now listen. Why would we put on all this muscle underneath that fat? It's not going to look good. So do you want the look to come with it? We got to take that down, which means you got to lose some weight. And once your body fat get to 15%, we can try to keep that down as you build back up. Now, if you gain 5 pounds of muscle and 1 pound is fat, that's an even trade. You follow me? So it's going to be kind of hard to put on solid muscle without no fat at all. But you have to decide which one of these phases you're going to be in. You cannot be in two at the same time. Now, the crazy thing is that all three of you train different. All three of you train different.
So what's the difference between?
Steffi now is getting into one or two body parts. Okay, great question. When we first met, you were not training at the gym alone, correct?
Correct.
Now you go to the gym, you'll text me, "Hey, what's my workout for the day? What body part am I doing?" You're confident now to go to the gym alone and train. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
big step. That's a big step.
So now she can do a split routine. A split routine is when you work 1 or 2 body parts a day. When you're looking to lose weight, the more muscles you incorporate in the exercise, it's going to burn more calories. So total body workouts are great. Top half, lower half body workouts are great. Front half, back half body workouts are great. As you get in better shape, your body is going to demand more. That is not going to work. It's good to introduce your muscles for what's going to come down the road. As you get in better shape, you're going to need a split routine. You follow me?
I feel like I do all of it.
Well, Tabata is your friend. You love Tabata. Steffi hates Tabata.
Okay.
You follow me? But in the beginning, we did a lot of Tabata. But as you start losing that weight and now you want to tone those muscles, it's almost like carving a turkey. You got to shape them. So you're going to need an hour for one body part, if that makes sense. Okay. Versus in the beginning, you don't need that. All right. So what people fail to realize is that if you have a calorie deficit, as long as you're active, you're going to lose weight. Yeah. All right. But that does not mean you're going to build lean muscle.
Right.
All right. So most people do a weight loss program without exercise. And you do look great, you achieve good results. The second you stop the weight loss program, the weight comes back. All right, so 1 pound of muscle is going to burn 30 to 50 calories. 1 pound of fat is going to burn 9. So as you're losing weight, you didn't build any lean muscle. You have nothing helping you to sustain that calorie expenditure. So the weight loss is going to have to be combined with some type of strength training. All right, now there's a difference between lean muscle and muscle mass. Lean muscle you can achieve while you're in a fat loss mode. You just cannot build muscle mass while you're in a fat loss mode.
So muscle mass is what's going to make you look more defined?
No, muscle mass is going to make you that swole, bulky look, that full look.
Okay.
You need carbohydrates for that.
Okay, so your lean muscle is going to make you look more defined.
Absolutely. Your low body fat percentage make you look more defined. It's all about the body fat percentage. Is that anything, Jay?
That is, man, like I'm back here just in awe at the knowledge that everybody have on what they want. Like everybody pretty much knows what it is that they want as far as they look goes, and then they pretty much know what it is that they need to do to get there and maintain what it is that they're trying to do. So the question that I have is, where do you guys go from here? Like, are you at your goal? Do you still have more that you want to do? Like, where are you at from here?
You know, we are our biggest critic. So you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I can tell, I could walk in 1,000 people and tell me how good I look, but you know, you just never satisfied. And that's just the human being in us. We're never satisfied with the results. So it's like chasing a ghost. You're gonna keep chasing and keep chasing because you ain't gonna never see exactly where you want to be. I mean, that's a good thing. Because that's not gonna make you stagnant. Because if you feel like you are where you're supposed to be, you can slow down a little bit. You keep chasing that ghost, you're gonna keep going hard. That's how I look at it.
How about you, Miss Crystal?
That's a good way to summarize it. Yeah, I'm always chasing for better results. So
okay.
Gonna keep going.
So one thing I noticed that when you and I train, you have to understand why I'm asking you to do something.
Absolutely.
Why is that? Explain that. And that's okay. Explain that.
I like to know. So if I do want to go and do it on my own, I want to know why am I selecting that exercise in the way that you're telling me, because I may think just from my experience of working out that I may need to do it differently. Like I said, you want me to keep going when I'm struggling. I'm like, well, I'm struggling, I should stop. So I have to know why am I doing that particular exercise that way.
Okay, what about exercise selection? Like in which order? And that is called program design. And that's what separates trainers, because you've gotten pretty good at that. You can actually write your own workouts now, and you have a rationale of what order to put exercises.
So
How did that come about?
That's why I asked you those questions. Because again, I may choose to do something in a totally different order, but there's a science behind it. So that's what I did for me.
Of course. Now, for instance, when you're doing program design, like that comes over time. Like no personal training test, no certification can teach you. It comes from experience, like Champ, you're a fighter. It comes from being in the ring. That's the same way as a trainer. It comes from being in so many different scenarios. For instance, like if you have someone on their stomach and you flip them over, that's going to elevate their heart rate really, really fast, going to have them sweating. You know, so those are the kind of things you need to know. You don't want to have exercise on the floor and then immediately bring them to a jumping jack on their feet. You know, that comes from time. So the way you put exercises in order has to be in line with what the goal is too. But that comes from time.
So I got a question for you, Chef, like, because Crystal kind of touched on it when she said, if I'm struggling, then I need to stop. But you say when you're at that point, then that's when you really need to push harder for an extra 2 to 3 reps. Why is that? Break that down for the people.
Okay, your body will not change without forced repetition, and that's where the adaptation occurs. Okay, if your body can already do what you're asking it to do, then there's no reason for it to change. Okay, so that's why we use our own method, and the method is proven. A lot of times when I say, well, I'll give you 5 seconds, and I tell you, give me those reps again, that is still a forced repetition. To be technical with it, the ATP is going to replenish in between your set. Those 5 seconds is only allowing you a little bit of time to replenish so you can continue those reps. Usually, if someone go to the gym, they're going to perform 3 or 4 sets. They're going to do 10 or 12 reps because that's what they've heard on the street. So if I've done my 3 sets, regardless of how they feel, they move on. But those 3 sets mean absolutely nothing if you didn't get a forced repetition. So if I said, Crystal, give me 20 reps at 20 pounds, and you do it. I said, Crystal, give me 20 reps at 30 pounds, and you do it. I said, Crystal, give me 20 reps at 40 pounds, and you do it. There is no forced repetition. You have done 3 sets. So with our training method, we're going to keep going until we have to decrease repetitions. And that's what's going to give you change.
And that's actually what I look for. I'm like, okay, Jay, this is not tough enough. Let me go higher up in my weight. Now I don't really want that many reps. I at least want to try another weight, and I actually feel it differently in my muscles even the next day. So I think you might know what you're doing.
All right, well, tell me how you felt after that 20 rep day. We did everything high rep the whole day. You were like, why so many? How did you feel after that?
Yeah, I hurt. So there was, I think, chest and shoulders, and I definitely felt, because a lot of times I don't get sore the next day because of, I guess I don't know if I'm used to training or however, but that day we did something a little differently, and I felt every piece of that muscle.
Absolutely.
When you feel like you have failure, he asks you to give you more reps. Do you do it?
Yes, reluctantly.
So your mind automatically tell you are a failure until he tell you otherwise. So you will always stop if you're on your own, because in your mind you think you have failure.
And that's absolutely right. Even when he writes the workouts and I go in there and do it, I'm ready to stop.
Right.
At probably about 10 or 12. And I have to just remember, Jay says keep going.
That extra 2 or 3 give you the growth.
Yeah.
Champ. Hang on. Hold up. We got a question from our audience.
All right.
All right. So question is, can I just eat X amount of carbs in a day, or do I have to eat them at a certain time of the day?
You want me to answer that? You want to take that?
Well, I live by the model. My carbs, I try to get them early, first thing in the morning, and before I work out, and I try to cut them late when I'm not doing anything. It's important. It is important when you eat your carbs, like, because when you're eating clean and to fuel your workouts, you gotta have them, or you're just gonna be downhill. So I try to get my carbs in early and take them out late.
So what is a good carb to eat before you work out?
Typically it's oatmeal for me.
Why is that?
Low glycemic,
slow digesting.
Of course, it carries me through my workout.
Absolutely.
It don't spike my glycogen, glucose level. Don't spike anything. It's slow digesting.
Okay.
Carbs, so.
What if you don't like oatmeal?
You can have cream of wheat.
Yeah.
Switch to grits. Just need a
grits.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, is it
I have a bowl of grits with cheese.
Oh,
Well, you said grits.
Okay.
So
She pushing.
There she goes. Taking off again. She goes. She taking off again.
Okay. You can. Okay. First of all, cutting your carbs out after a certain point of the day is okay, but it's actually, in my opinion, a myth. You still burn calories while you sleep, number one.
True.
Number two, you have to take in consideration what time of day you work out. So if I work out at 5 p.m., I'm going to have that carb at 3:30. You follow me? If you're cutting your carbs out at noon and you work out at 5 and you wonder why you can't get to your workout, you have to look at the time you're training as well.
Yeah.
You follow me?
You're right.
So what if you work out twice a day?
If you work out twice a day, then you need to make sure you're definitely eating enough calories.
And carbs.
You follow me? Make sure you're definitely doing that. There is something called nutrient timing, and you have to place that just right. So basically, if I'm working out twice a day, I'm probably gonna have my BCAAs 2 times. I'll make sure I'm gonna have a shake immediately following my workout. Make sure I'm gonna have a good carb before I go. If you're working out, say 2 hours, after my first hour, I'm gonna consume something, and then I'm gonna do my second workout. So that can work, but probably if you're training with the chef, that's not gonna happen. You follow me? Because one workout is going to be enough. If you're really leaving it all there, it's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, what do you do like cardio at night?
No,
Working out too.
no, I probably wouldn't. I would not put the carb back after the cardio.
Right.
Two different things.
Okay.
You follow me? So after the cardio, why would you want to put a carb back after I just?
Right.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Right.
That works against.
So what am I doing the BCAAs for?
The BCAAs is branched chain amino acids. There are 20. 11 of them non-essential, meaning you can get from food. 9 of them that are essential, you have to get from outside source. This is going to prevent muscle breakdown and also help with recovery. All right, you're going to have that in any program. You need that.
So you have to do it every day.
Absolutely. And this is why. If your glycogen storage is low, your body, your muscles, well, carbs get stored in your muscles. Your glycogen is low because you're consuming low carb. You need something to preserve that muscle. And the BCAA is going to do that.
Miss Lisa said, "Is there a such thing as too much cardio?"
Woo! We're gonna let Crystal take that.
Depending on what your goals are.
Okay.
And how much you're eating, yes, there is such thing as too much cardio because you can burn your muscle.
Okay. Did you experience any of that at all?
I did.
So we lost, even though you look great and you lost weight on the scale and you lost body fat. But because our cardio was high and your intensity while you were doing the cardio was high, your body used a little bit of what?
My muscle.
And you slowed off your BCAAs too.
Oh yes, I did. That's what
See
I
that?
asked about that. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, you had me eat so much other stuff.
I did. Now, we was gonna save this for last. Now, Champ, you're pretty much tell the people how much cardio you do.
I don't do no cardio.
Zero cardio.
Chef, how much cardio you do?
Zero.
I don't do any cardio. I let my diet speak for itself. Even though I know your heart is a muscle, the way we train, we do, a superset, we do get a little bit of that. Not to say I won't do cardio, but I just haven't done anything. It won't be a lot.
Okay.
So,
your cardio also has to be strategic. Okay, there are 5 heart rate training zones: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When your heart rate is in zones 1, 2, and 3, you're gonna burn fat. The percentages of burning fat is higher. Okay, now when you're in zones 4 and 5, the percentages of burning carbs are higher. It's okay to burn carbs. Let's just say you at 40% body fat. At that point, we're not really concerned where the energy comes from. We just want to burn calories so we can lose some size, some weight. And once your body fat get closer down, if you're a female in the 20s, then we don't want to lose so much. So now your cardio heart rate should be low to only burn stored fat. At that point, you're consuming low carbs. We don't want to burn the carbs off. In her case, lose more muscle. So your cardio should be low intensity to solely burn fat. So this is what that means. If you're doing cardio for 30 minutes at a high intensity, say you burn 300 calories. You may do cardio for 30 minutes at a low intensity and only burn 100 calories. Those 100 calories are going to come from fat. That's going to mean more to you than burning 300 calories of carbs.
Okay. So I got a question on, she said that she lost muscle. So is there at any given time that anybody should want to lose muscle?
I would say no.
Me either.
I would say no. Now,
what if you just really big, like a real big?
You still don't want to lose muscle.
Yeah, you want to tone up, still,
right.
Well, like a huge bodybuilder. What if you don't want to be so big? Does he just stop training?
I don't think no bodybuilder goes to lose muscle. I don't think no.
It gets smaller, obviously, but they still have some type of muscle.
Now, in your case, you probably could have balanced it out by either adding another meal or pulling a day out of cardio. You follow me? So you're going to change one or two variables. Either pull the cardio back or add more food.
So let me tell you.
All right.
I work out 7 days. Sometimes I don't rest at all. If I have time enough to go. I like the intensity. I like working out. So is there something that you recommend other than
no, but I have done that as well. There's times I've went 15, 20 days straight without a day off. Now, some people think that there is a such thing as overtraining. I do not. I only feel there's a thing of under eating. You follow me? So if your output is this high, you just have to make sure you're compensating with enough food.
So what about the recovery? That your muscles need time to rest?
Absolutely. Your muscle is going to need 48 hours for that muscle. You can train every day, but not the same muscle. You follow me? That's where the split routine comes in. All right. So most people that I train will be 2 days a week, some 3, some 4 and 5. But if I'm doing 2 days per week and I know that's the only 2 days you're coming, then your total body has to be split in those 2 days. All right. If I'm only seeing you 2 days and you're training 4 days on your own, then I don't have to spend an hour on so many body parts.
Okay, cool. Miss Stephanie, you got anything? You quiet over there. You all right? You learning? I know, right? A lot of knowledge being passed down here, right? I love it for real. So
They call me
the sous chef. Oh, okay. So you finna start training too? We're gonna go ahead and get
I teach them what to do.
Champ, give them a little bit of your background before we go. What is your background, Champ?
I've done it all. Weight training, powerlifting, CrossFit football, professional football, boxing.
So what you do with boxing? Like, when you like box in the ring with people?
Yeah,
Or
I've done that. I've always just had a desire to do something against the grain. Nobody in my family, growing up in my era, nutrition was not popular. Nobody knew how to read a nutrition label. It was unheard of a serving size.
So where are you from, Champ?
Louisiana. So
what part though?
New Orleans.
There it is.
The service size is a platter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So growing up in my era, learning, not having nobody to teach you fitness, I picked it up along the way. You just pick it up, read and stuff like that, but it's uncommon. That's why obesity is so high, because people don't know how to eat, and they cook on a lot of sodium, they cook on a lot of butter, and everybody just eat. Hospitality city, eat. So once I learned, my parents, I try to push back on them. I don't try to push too hard, because they set in their ways to eat what they want to eat, but I try to push my knowledge back on them so they can do something different, because when you get a certain age, you can't eat the same way.
You can't.
All right.
So one more question before we get up out of here. Do you guys feel that your knowledge in training, exercise, and eating has grown since you've been with the chef? 100%?
Yeah.
100.
Now, real quick, we're talking about carbs. That's the topic of the show. Are you on low carb at all, Champ?
Not extremely low, not high. I'm in a moderate range. I would say about 35% of my calories are coming from carbs right now.
Okay.
Moderate.
What do you think, Stephanie?
I'm low carb.
Low carb. All right, that it?
I think that's it. Anybody got any last words that they want to get out? Any, shout outs to anybody? Thank yous to anybody? Anything? Nope.
We miss anything?
Next show is August 20th. Look at Crystal. That's what I'm talking. Hey, we got to get home and say it more often. August 29th, man. The next show. Make sure y'all tune in. Y'all already know how we do and what we do. We coming back, more knowledge, more topics, more great guests, and more lives that has been changed, man, by none other than the beast himself. Y'all already know who it is and what it do, man. I'm Mr. Rose. We got Miss Stephanie. We got Miss Crystal. We got the Beast Mode Chef, and then we got the Champ on the end, man. And we will catch y'all August 29th. And if you ever want to come meet the chef in person, man, 629 Airport Road, right here in Lawrenceville, Georgia, man. Come through, check him out, meet him, meet the legend himself, shake his hand, and get to know a little bit more. All right. I'm Rose. We here behind the apron. We out of here, man. August 29th, next show. Salute. Peace.